Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Thursday, April 25th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's AEW Dynamite broadcast live on TBS from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. The show ended with Jack Perry and the Young Bucks attacking AEW President Tony Khan during a promo segment, with the Bucks hitting a Meltzer driver and laying him out. In Perry's first Dynamite appearance since August, he had confronted Khan in the ring and looked to have reconciled with him until the sneak attack angle.
Wait, no. What the fuck? No, not this, no.
Along with referees, officials, and wrestlers, Tony Khan's father and AEW co-owner Shad Khan came down to the ring to check on his condition to end the show. In the main event of the show, Jon Moxley made his first defense of the IWGP World title, putting Powerhouse Hobbs to sleep. After the match, Konosuke Takeshita appeared to issue a challenge to Moxley for the title.
Konosuke Takeshita calling out Jon Moxley. Interesting. A very interesting development as the Don Callis family, their business with Moxley and that IWGP World Heavyweight Championship clearly not finished.
Will Ospreay won a Casino Gauntlet match to earn a shot at Roderick Strong's international title at Double or Nothing next month. Ospreay last pinned Commander to win the match. Also involved in the gauntlet were Dante Martin, Jay Lethal, Jay White, Lance Archer, and Penta. In other in-ring promo segments, Chris Jericho offered his mentoring services as the Learning Tree, which were accepted by Big Bill. Mercedes Moné brawled with new TBS champion Willow Nightingale, and Chuck Taylor rejected his former best friends partner Trent Beretta and sided with Orange Cassidy. In other results, AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland beat ROH TV champion Kyle Fletcher in a non-title opening match, and Mina Shirakawa defeated Anna Jay. Jay attacked Mariah May after the match until AEW World Women's Champion Toni Storm made the save. Serena Deeb then came out to issue a challenge to Storm. In legal news, Janelle Grant has issued a counter motion yesterday to Vince McMahon's motion to compel her lawsuit to arbitration. Grant's counter motion refutes McMahon's denial of her allegations of sexual assault and trafficking and maintains that he is lying and twisting the truth in order to cast doubt on her character. The statement, which indicates Grant and her legal team's readiness to contest his position in court, begins, quote, "Even for Vince McMahon, the baseless, irrelevant, and false statements in the motion's preliminary statement, designed solely to harass and intimidate his longtime victim, Janelle Grant, are a new low," end quote. McMahon's initial statement, released on Tuesday, maintains that Grant herself was lying about having to care for her elderly and dying parents and about having to deal with the foreclosure of their home, and denies all sexual misconduct allegations. In ratings news, NXT drew a total audience of 661,000 viewers to Tuesday's Spring Break-In episode on USA Network, according to WrestleNomics. That's up from last week's audience of 625,000. In the 18 to 49-year-old demographic, the rating was a .20, also up from last week's .17 rating. In injury news, Jimmy Uso is currently dealing with an undisclosed injury according to Fightful Select. As a result, he is not scheduled to take part in the WWE Draft taking place on tomorrow's SmackDown and Monday's Raw. Jimmy was last seen on TV on the April 12th SmackDown during the segment in which he was kicked out of the Bloodline. His last match was at WrestleMania against his brother Jay. In TNA wrestling news, the company confirmed yesterday that Mike Santana has officially signed a contract with TNA. Santana, who left AEW last September, made his initial TNA return last Saturday night at Rebellion and also took part in Sunday's TV taping. Santana previously competed in Impact from 2017 through 2019 as one half of LAX with tag team partner Angel Ortiz. And in National Wrestling Alliance news, NWA president and owner Billy Corgan is scheduled to take part in a reality TV series that will premiere on May 14th, according to Deadline. Titled Billy Corrigan's Adventures in Carneyland, it will be made available on the CW app and website, which also carries regular NWA programming. The show will reportedly include aspects of Corrigan's personal life, as well as his musical career and involvement in pro wrestling. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.